Tonight, in a KHQA exclusive report, a Quincy veterinarian is now under investigation by the state of Illinois. We'll show you what's next and how that affects Quincy City Hall.
There's a large push in the community to keep the jail downtown. Certainly this aids the county in their efforts to do that.
And the city votes to keep the jail downtown. Now the county will meet tomorrow to make its final decision. I'm Raina Harvey live in studio with that story straight ahead.
Finally broke out with some sunshine. The question is, will it last and how warm will it go? The answer next with your forecast.
This is KHQA News at 10, working for you.
Good evening, everyone. We have some breaking news to bring you out of Lorain, Illinois right now, where a 6-year-old boy has been found after being reported as missing just east of that village. Now, the boy was found in a drainage ditch around 8 o'clock this evening. Right now, his condition is unknown at this time. Now, the boy's family reported the child missing shortly before 7 p.m. According to Captain Rich Wagner with the Adams County Sheriff's Office, the child was taken to the hospital tonight.
The 6-year-old was located approximately a half hour ago in a drainage ditch near the residence. The 6-year-old was transported to Blessing Hospital, and the condition is unknown at this time.
Now, the Adams County Sheriff's Office, along with police, firefighters, emergency medical services, and an Adams County dive team, responded to tonight's search. We now have a KHQA exclusive report to bring you tonight. The Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation has issued a 15-count complaint against a Quincy veterinarian. In a 17-page document, the department names 15 complaints against Dr. Andrew Kaiser. He owns Catherine Road Animal Hospital and the Raptor Rehabilitation Center. Now, Kaiser also oversees the Quincy City Animal Shelter. You can read all of those allegations right now at KHQA.com. Now, the document accuses Kaiser of a number of accusations, such as pulling 14 teeth from a pet animal during surgery without the owner's permission. According to the document, the pet bled to death. KHQA reached out to Dr. Kaiser for comment about the complaints tonight. He said he could not comment on the accusations until speaking with his lawyer. Quincy's Police Aldermanic Committee met tonight to discuss the city's future agreement with Dr. Kaiser. He also serves on the city's Animal Control Commission. City Attorney Ryan Schock said the information would be sent to the full council for review. We now know the name of the man who was stabbed twice in the chest in Fort Madison early this morning. Police say 26-year-old Stanley Joe Davis was hurt after a fight. Police are now looking for 44-year-old Sean Lee DeHaven. He's considered armed and dangerous and is wanted for attempted murder. Davis was airlifted to a University of Iowa hospital. Well, here's what's new out of Adams County. The Adams County State's Attorney John Barnard files his response asking the 4th Appellate Court's emergency stay to be lifted. It all surrounds a motion to extend voting in Adams County for residents who didn't have a chance last week. Right now, Barnard categorizes the current situation as uncharted waters. He says the court can dissolve or remove the stay. Either way, the process will be made within the next 24 hours. He also doubts the court will entertain an oral argument because it slows down the overall process. Last week, Barnard argued the Illinois Attorney General's office about the need for late voting. The Illinois Attorney General's office claims a mandatory injunction violates the U.S. Constitution. The AG's office says the county clerk should have made more ballots. The AG's office also argues that late voting could be an advantage for voters who already know the outcome, and that mandatory injunction could set a precedent. Now, Barnard says this is a disadvantage for being turned away. He argued the required limitations of late voting is the safest and the most logical remedy. He says the right to vote should not be taken away from citizens. In his response to emergency motion from stay pending appeal that was just filed, he states, quote, "The Illinois Constitution requires that each voter have the right and opportunity to cast his or her votes without any restraint, and that his or her vote have the same influence as any other voter," end quote. That statement is from the People versus Deathridge 1949 court case. Now, Barnard says if the appeals court rules against Adams County, the effort is over. The state's attorney's office says by the time a similar challenge can be made in the Illinois Supreme Court, critical time will be lost. Switching gears to Quincy government now, the Quincy City Council wants to keep the jail downtown. KHQA Raina Harvey joins us live in the studio with more on tonight's decision and what's next in the process to build a new jail.
Well, Raja, the city and county have been in talks for quite some time, trying to decide which location would be best for a new jail. Well, tonight, the council members discussed, voted, and decided to keep it where it currently is, downtown. Now, the council voted to vacate the current jail and build a brand new jail at the Adams County Courthouse. The city would spend around $4.2 million and the county would put in around $25 million. The city would give 6th Street to the county and would have a 20-year lease to house the Quincy Police Department. The department would then be relocated to the Adams County Courthouse. Mayor Kyle Moore explained why he thought the decision made tonight was the best for everyone involved.
It's a large push in the community to keep the jail downtown. Certainly this aids the county in their efforts to do that. And also, working with the county to help us out. Our police department's in the basement here. It's going to need a new home, whether it be 5 years from now or 10 years from now. And this is a unique opportunity that presented itself.
The city will also be redoing Lot D, located near the Adams County Courthouse, to expand it from 80 to around 100 spots. Also giving parts of 6th Street to the county so they can extend the jail. Now the city will then relocate the sewer system along that portion of 6th Street. Now tomorrow evening, the county will hold its finance meeting, and then immediately after they will have their board meeting, going over the city's vote and information, what could be a big final decision made tomorrow night. Reporting live in studio, Raina Harvey, KHQA News.
New at 10 o'clock, Missouri lawmakers are worried that police technology could invade people's privacy. Right now, they're looking to change the way police collect and store data that comes from video, audio, and location. Some say devices such as body cameras and license plate scanners are indiscriminate and violate the privacy of people who have done nothing wrong. Meanwhile, law enforcement say they are working to help strike a compromise. Switching gears to Iowa now, Governor Terry Branstad says he is now looking at the financial realities in a reduced budget for the state. Today, he says he is willing to work with lawmakers to divvy out the $7.3 billion that's available for the next fiscal budget. It goes into effect July 1st. He says he now expects the budget to be extremely tight. Now, speaking of Branstad, the governor is supporting Iowa Senator Charles Grassley's decision to not hold nomination hearings for the U.S. Supreme Court vacancy. Grassley says he and his Republican colleagues want voters to select the next president before that vacancy is filled. President Barack Obama recently nominated Merrick Garland. Branstad's decision hits especially close to home. U.S. Supreme Court nominee Garland is the governor's second cousin.
He's a very dedicated, conscientious public servant. So we share that in common. I'm proud of him, but I also respect and appreciate and support Senator Grassley and his position.
Garland is the chief judge of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. New in Illinois, Governor Bruce Rauner says he would support Donald Trump if he is the Republican nominee for president. The Republican governor says he'll support whomever voters choose. Now, last Tuesday's Illinois primary came days after Trump canceled a Chicago rally over security concerns. Also in Illinois, you may soon have to be 21 years old to buy a pack of cigarettes in Illinois. A new bill in the Senate is proposing to raise the age from 18 to 21. Democratic State Senator John Mulrow of Chicago says he hopes the bill he's sponsoring will decrease the number of young people who start smoking. Let's hear what some Tri-States residents had to say about the issue.
I think they should be 21 because a lot of kids don't know, the repercussions from smoking tobacco. They don't Google. They Google everything they shouldn't Google, but they don't Google the things that they should. So I think it should be 21 so they can be more aware of what's the health risk.
I think you're just indifferent. I mean, I think whether you're 18 or 21, should be able to make the right choices by then, and kind of up to you at that point, I think.
The Illinois Retail Merchants Association says those affected by the change would find other ways to obtain tobacco. An Illinois representative is making her second attempt in a year to legalize certified professional midwives in Illinois. The state criminalized the practice in 1987. Now, the proposal is staunchly opposed by some doctors who say babies should only be born in hospitals. The Coalition of Illinois Midwives say licensure would also allow low-income women to hire midwives, which could lower the state's Medicaid costs.
Now, your 7 Storm Team first forecast.
Nice that Mother Nature finally dished out plenty of sunshine for the Tri-States as the temperature did a nice response. Upward we went later on this afternoon. Along with that, the wind started to pick up a little bit more too. Right now, we're flirting that 50-degree mark in a few spots. 50 in Quincy, 44 though at Macomb, the cool spot. We got 46 at Fort Madison, 49 Jacksonville, 51 at Pittsfield, 46 in Hannibal, 52 degrees at Kirksville. So you kind of get the idea. Now, as far as the wind, we're out of the south now. We're going to be out of the south here the next couple of days. Now at 10, 15 miles an hour. It's going to be a lot more brisk for tomorrow. Highs today reach the upper 50s to around 60, 61. The high at St. Louis, 57 at Quincy, 65 out of Kansas City, 70 in Wichita, a sign of things to come. Not much going on in our neck of the woods as far as cloud cover, nothing to worry about in the course of the next 24 hours. So we'll bottom out around 43, not as cold as it was last night. Clear sky and a few fair weather clouds in store for tomorrow. First look at your Tuesday. We'll top out in the low 70s, but hold on to your hats. It's going to be breezy. Now, we do have a chance of thunderstorms. We'll tell you about that coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Rich. Well, happening now, recent severe weather in Lee County, Iowa means now is the perfect time to learn about Mother Nature. Monday is the start of Severe Weather Awareness Week in Iowa. Lee County Emergency Management Director Steve Serena says everyone needs to be prepared and know how to stay safe during and after a storm. Serena says a vital tip in the event of severe weather is how to use your cell phone. The National Weather Service will conduct a tornado drill this Wednesday at 10:30 a.m.
Going to need to get information or pass information on a cell, use your text. Use your text system. It's a lot faster. It gets through a lot easier.
This is a new day. Es un nuevo día between our two countries.
And still to come, the president makes history as the first sitting U.S. president to travel to the island in nearly 90 years. We'll have more on that visit next.
You're watching KHQA News at 10, working for you.
President Obama arrives in Cuba this week, and the historic visit includes meetings with Cuba's president and a state dinner at the Palace of the Revolution. The president took a visit to the Jose Marti Memorial. That's a man who fought for Cuban independence from Spain. Obama says the U.S. embargo on Cuba will end, but he could not say when. Meanwhile, Castro says relations could only be normalized when that embargo ends and the U.S. vacates Guantanamo Bay. New tonight out of southeast Iowa, what starts off as a small problem could put saving lives in jeopardy for the Lee County Ambulance District. Now, recently, the pool of paramedics in the area continues to shrink with no end in sight. Assistant Director of Operations Shanna Krogmeyer says when there aren't enough paramedics, administration has to pick up the slack. She says over the years, the number of people who want to be paramedics has decreased. Krogmeyer says one of the two things are to blame.
I don't know that everybody really realizes what it is. And then there's those people who don't necessarily want the responsibility of making those life-saving decisions.
Make sure a portable suction works.
Now, Lee County paramedics say no matter the shortage, quality service will remain a top priority. A cancer diagnosis can be devastating no matter your age, but when it hits a 4-month-old, it can be very unsettling. That's exactly what one Quincy family is going through right now. Baby Jace is now 5 months old and has had 1 dose of chemotherapy. He'll have 4 in total while he battles stage 4 neuroblastoma. That's a cancer of the nerves. Jace's prognosis is good, but he and the family still have to walk in the shoes of a cancer family.
As a parent, making the decisions, I can't explain to him why I'm doing what I'm doing to him. And that's good in some ways because he doesn't know. And so he's happy and he doesn't stress because he doesn't know what cancer is. But when he tries to roll over and he can't because he feels the pain from a Broviac, I can't explain to him that it's not going to be in there forever. And I can't explain to him that that's what's going to, help save his life.
Now, over the next several months, Jace will have scans to see if the chemotherapy is working. His mother says doctors say the treatment will be considered a success if the numbers drop by 50%. You can see more of this story right now at KHQA.com. Well, speaking of cancer, you have a chance to log on to www.cancercrush.org for a chance to win a new house. All money raised goes to helping this cancer center and will help cancer patients pay for treatment and daily necessities. Rosie Baskett with Blessing Cancer Center works the front lines in finding solutions for patients. She says Cancer Crush helps her fulfill her passion to help others.
the houses stand out to me most. That's got to be an awful feeling to walk in the door and know that you're tipping the scales. Do I get this treatment or do I keep my house? And what an awesome experience to be able to tell them, and for them to feel that relief that we can help them out.
Now here's how you can make a difference. Tickets are $100 for the House of Hope, appraised at more than $150,000. Again, that website, www.cancercrush.org. The drawing is this Friday.
Some folks across the Midwest will be experiencing all 4 seasons within, say, 72 hours. I'll explain why with your forecast coming up next.
Now, your exclusive 7 Storm Team forecast.
On our Sleep Tight weather view, gorgeous sights around the tri-states, the signs of spring. Yeah, we kept it closer to home for today. The birds were singing and just wonderful. Yes, spring has sprung, certainly around the region, and for good reason, too. Above average temperatures the last week and a half, at least 2 weeks or so. Along with that, some rain, then some sun, and then some rain, and that's exactly what we've got going. 57 was the official high today after 26 cold degrees. Now, that wasn't a sustained 26. We kind of touched bottom and then sprung back up again, kind of like pool water, the first pool water of the season. Far from any record set back on this day. Let's take a look at the latest numbers that we've got. Quincy Regional Airport, clear sky, 50 degrees, 27 degrees, the dew point. South wind at 11, the barometric pressure falling. Now slowly at 29.94. And around the region, we've got temperatures that are in the upper 40s too, around 50. 54 at Keokuk, 46 at Fort Madison, 46 at Hannibal, 52 degrees out of Kirksville, and 44 at Macomb, 51 Pittsfield, and 49 degrees at Jacksonville. That wind started to pick up a little bit more out of the south this afternoon, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Now that wind's going to be a little bit more of a factor, especially tomorrow afternoon once we get the heating of the day and a storm system getting a little bit closer to the region. So for now, clear sky and very quiet weather, and this will continue to be the case for the rest of the overnight into a good chunk of tomorrow. But clouds beginning to thicken up off to the west, and this is a result of low pressure that's been evolving across Nebraska. This is going to track to our north, right along and north of Interstate 80. Low pressure number 2 is expected to evolve on the lee side of the Rockies and then make its way in across Kansas and then park across northwestern Missouri. Develop a cold front, and some seriously cold air is expected to develop behind that front. So we're going to get kind of a punch of showers and thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon and evening. March very quickly off to the east. All the severe weather stays down to the south. But then on the backside, snow starts to develop across Iowa, stays to the north, but it is expected to accumulate there. But for us, it's going to be windy and one of those raw days as we head into Thursday. So kind of keep that in mind. 43 tonight, clear sky, south wind at 10 to 15. And then for tomorrow, look for a lot of sunshine, but it's going to be windy. Southwest up to 25. And then gusts higher up to 40 miles an hour at times. And then the extended outlook. Here we go. The big swing in temperatures Wednesday. Increasing clouds. Chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. 68 for the top. Cold front comes through, dropping temperatures down to 37. Then as we head into the rest of the week, it's just going to be kind of raw. Chance of lingering showers on Thursday. Friday, partly sunny and 53. More showers perhaps on Saturday. Then Easter Sunday. Yeah, keep the umbrella with the bonnets handy. 51. A little warmer next Monday.
Cute little bunny there.
Little pink bunny.
I like them. Well, very special night for a Marion County baseball player. Let's send things over to Will Wilson to learn more.
Yeah, Raj, it was a special afternoon over there in Philadelphia, and Nolan Ryan, the Mustang senior, been battling lymphoma for almost the past year, and he got a chance to get back out there on the diamond. It was pretty special. We'll take you to the game this afternoon.
Now, from across the tri-states, this is KHQA Sports.
When Marion County's Nolan Ryan received his lymphoma diagnosis in 2015, what upset him the most wasn't the sheer fact that he had somehow obtained this disease. It was that he wouldn't be able to play baseball for the Mustangs come this spring. That alone was enough motivation to get him through his chemotherapy treatments to start the remission process. A few weeks ago, Nolan got the news he wanted to hear. He'd be able to play the sport he loves to finish his senior year. Ryan and the Mustangs taking on Atlanta today. Remarkable recovery for that young man. Had him in here as an intern last year, just a stand-up guy. Chris Drew, we're going to have more on him tomorrow at 6. He and the Mustangs struggled for about the first 3 quarters of this game. Ty Bodish sharp early on. Change up the view coming up here for you. Another strikeout for Mr. Bodish. Nolan, designated hitter today, racked in a pair of hits later on in this game. Mustangs down 7-0 when Ben Smith decided to roll up his sleeves and jack one. Solo shot for Smith. 8-1 lead for Atlanta in the 5th. Then the circus just broke loose. Marion County scores 16 runs, comes back and beats Atlanta. Of course, our cameras weren't there. We left too early. What the heck, guys? Can't do it while we're there? No, not their fault at all. Incredible finish on a special day. Good for Nolan and Marion County, starting the season off on the right note with a 17-8 win. Let's head on over to Ewing. Highland hosting reloaded Scotland County Tigers showed why they were a game away from the Final Four a season ago. Will Fromm hitting a chopper to short. Throw's going to knock it there in time. Gage Dodd comes in to score. Aaron Buford going to have a big season on the bump. Had 9 strikeouts on the day. He's just a difference maker when he's on the field. More runs coming for the Tigers. Justin McKee going to drive this thing to deep center. Elijah Cooley going to come on in to score. Scotland County with a 3-0 lead. Buford still owning the mound after that. Chuck up, another strikeout for him. Gage Dodge going to put this thing out of reach. Almost going to leave the park with this hit. 2-run double. Scotland County looked good. 10-0, the final over Highland. 2 scores to pass along to you from the Missouri side of things. It was Mark Twain edging Palmyra by 1, and it was Hannibal scoring 18 runs as they get it done in their home opener and their first win of the season over Western. Head back on over here to Illinois. Pace and Liberty, the rivalry never gets old. Only fitting that these two would begin the season with each other. First inning, Indians doing work at the plate. Travis Johnson with Drew Burwinkle on, going to smack that one to center, brings him home. A few batters later, it's going to be Clayton Conrad. Sack fly out to center. Great throwback coming up here to the plate, but Logan Hilgenbrink, he's just too fast. He goes on in there, makes it 2-0 in favor of the Indians. Eagles answering right back in the bottom of the first. Austin Norman belts this one, a deep left. Almost had enough on it to go out, but it goes under the fence. Ground roll double, 2 runs coming to score. Next up, Logan Battle. Gonna hit a blooper right here. This one somehow falls in the infield. Another run gonna come on in to score. Game all tied up at this point. But from there on, Payson gonna drive in 8 more runs and hold off Liberty to get the 11-8 win. On to the scoreboard, it was Unity taking down Monroe City. Brody Dunker hits 2 3-run bombs on that one as they get it done 17-7. Clopton all over Pleasant Hill 13-3. It was Beardstown taking down a very good Central team by 5. Macomb scores 16 and they beat Havana 16-3. And Triopia and New Berlin game called to darkness. His final count in that one was 9-9. Payson and Liberty girls going to battle right next door. Coach Southers dabbing with Haley Hickerson right there. Game tied, 1 in the 3rd. Tori Schieferdeck aiming to keep it that way with the strikeout. Then the offense started to come. Riley Epperson laying down the wicked bunt right here. Throw's going to end up getting away at first. The run's going to come out in to score to give Payson the 2-1 lead, and they didn't look back from there. Schieferdecker helping out her own cause in the 4th. Right here, she's going to hit that one. Another run's going to come on and score, make it 3-1. Payson goes on and gets the win over Liberty. Final count in this one, 8-1. On the softball scoreboard, Unity, too much for Beardstown as they get it done, 8-4. Central wipes out Southeastern behind J.C. Null's 15K no-hitter. It was Griggsville Perry girls getting it done over Western, 15-3. United, too much for Macomb. And it was Quincy High losing their first game of the season to Alton, 9-7. Well, back to the diamond. John Wood with their home opener today against Illinois Central. Look who it is, Caleb Bradshaw, Griggsville's finest, or K-Bat as his friends like to call him. Another local guy here delivering at the dish. Noah Lynch from Western smacking one to deep left. That helps bring in Keaton Barnes to make it 2-1. Next up at the plate, though, former Palmyra Panther Holden Hudson. Going to put this thing in the near exact same spot Lynch did, and it would, in fact, bring Noah home to tie the ball game up 2 apiece. But Illinois Central, too much for John Wood in Game 1 as they get it done 9-6. Game 2 would see John Wood get it done 7-6. They're now 6-10 on the season. John Wood softball at home today as well against Lewis and Clark. Emily Kitchell getting some expert tutelage from Vic Schrader right there. Blazers up 3-2. Hannah Runner right here. Add in some more because she's going to soar that one out into right. The speedster, Katie Clapp, coming in to score. Now a 4-2 John Wood lead. Paige Enlow joining the RBR party after that. pulls out her 9-iron to chip that one into center. Another run comes in to score. She had 5 RBIs on the day. Hannah Runner with an incredible RBI earlier. Watch her defense right here. She's going to snag this one, make the tag. Fortunately, John Wood, no match for Lewis and Clark, as Lewis and Clark gets it done 17-12. And in game 2, it was Lewis and Clark taking out John Wood. That should read 10-3. Sammy Overton goes 3 for 3 in that ball game. We'll have more news when we get back.
And that's going to do it for us, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.